Hello. I don't do videos like this usually, and I'm super stoked that all of you saw my last video.
Sorry, it's overball.
There is a huge problem that's been burning on my prostate recently. Not with the platform itself, but with some of the people that make content on it. There won't be any drama here. I won't be calling anyone out by name. You know who they are. You know what they've done. I'm talking about a systemic issue. Michael J. White. Where to begin? I don't get review copies. Big shocker, I know. I curse, I shit on the floor, I yell, I scream, I insult my viewers and their mothers who are... Don't get me started on their mothers. My videos are just as much about giving you my thoughts on a game as they are about, goofing around and having fun. I'm not objective. I understand why none of these companies want to associate with me. There was a time, not so long ago, when it really frustrated me, but I get it. If I had a legitimate business, I probably also wouldn't like to be connected with some unpredictable Michelin. If you still don't understand, let me be clear. I'm talking about review copies and the huge impact they have on the game reviewer landscape on YouTube. No one wants to talk about it because the status quo is really good for a lot of publishers and big YouTubers. But there is a huge conflict of interest that you should care about if you care about honest reviews and our planet. Getting review copies, meaning getting the game early and for free, is a galaktischer advantage. Please understand, your video out on a game on release date translates into big views, big money, and big relevancy. Everyone knows this. YouTubers know it. Developers, publishers know it. You know it too. Interest in a game is largest on release. That's when most people want to buy it. You want to know if it's worth your money or complete shit. That's why review copies are given out in the first place. People need to talk about it around release. Every day past that, your review isn't out is a massive amount and a huge chunk of viewers lost. Doesn't matter if you personally like to wait for a certain YouTuber and even though he's late, you still kind of would like to watch him. Irrelevant. The sooner a review comes out, the more views it'll get. So maybe you can already kind of guess the problem. It's not just a competitive advantage. I don't compete with these fucking nerds. I'm cool. I fuck. It's a conflict of interest that is unacceptable in my eyes. Let me break it down for you, Ranton style. If you get a game copy early, you are now part of the publisher's marketing campaign. The game you got wasn't free. It's been paid for. It appears on the balance sheet of the publisher under marketing expenses. Your video on the game is now sponsored, and merely declaring it in the beginning of the video isn't enough. By the way, my copy was provided to me by the developer for free, but let's get into this review. What? Halt! Bitte helfen Sie mir! How is that okay? If you are financially, business style-mäßig connected with the people who manufactured the product you're reviewing, your credibility is gone. And your video should be marked as product placement from beginning to end. From the moment you say, "It's your boy," to the moment YouTube's autoplay starts playing. Even if you buy the game post-release, it don't matter, dog. It don't matter how hard you try to be unbiased and fair and tough and neutral. In fact, you trying harder is the conflict of interest already taking effect and impacting your view on the game. All of this can manifest itself in very subtle ways that you as a viewer may not even notice. Maybe a sentence or two is slightly altered to be, just a tidbit more charitable. Maybe one glitch less is shown. Maybe a part of the game that they didn't enjoy as much is glossed over, or it's repeatedly pointed out to you that, hey, it's just not their thing, but you do you. One tiny change due to personal involvement with the people who make the product already fucks your entire authenticity up the Auschwitz. To all my Chinese brothers, may your review copy, may your corruption, may your review copy, may your corruption, review copy. I believe that a lot of reviewers aren't even aware of this. I'm not suggesting malicious intent. There is no grand conspiracy. It's a very simple but big issue that happens across the industry. You don't believe me? Why do people get blacklisted? Why do companies cut off access to certain people? If the benefits of providing you with an early copy are outweighed by your perceived negative effect, they'll cut you out of the marketing campaign, which review copies are a part of. If you want to get money, views, big sponsorships, big reach, reach more people, you are heavily incentivized to not get on their bad side. And that is the problem. The Metacritic score of a game is actually really important. Once that game pops into the market, people flood those sites. A low score is sales lost. People die. I've seen the argument made before, I have given bad review to game before, I still got review copy, you Chinese people. This argument, I believe, is irrelevant. Maybe in your attempt to be unbiased, you went a little extra hard on the game. You dug a little bit deeper. That also is unacceptable. The conflict of interest still exists, and it's bad on principle. And by the way, just knowing that you are risking losing access to early copies in the future is a threat that you first have to be willing to engage with. And let's be real, all that people can say is, I promise you, it doesn't affect me at all. My entire channel depends on me getting this shit to you on time, but it doesn't affect me at all. Tu scammer, hey mother, children, nigga betche, mu banker sale, haram. Come on. We debated this yesterday night for several hours on my Discord server. Mudahar was there, we all discussed it together. My good Italian friend, Salami, was kind of surprised by it because he never thought about it in this way before. And you know what? Neither did I. I understand that he has, and all of us, we have our favorite reviewers, our trusted sources. You think, oh, this guy wouldn't lie to me. Ah, he's a genuine guy. Real recognize real. Ranton just fisted Jill's asshole again. That's cool. You probably just enjoy this person's personality and you want to know their thoughts. I feel the exact same way. There are people who get review copies that I really respect and that I'm a fan of and that I trust. Not just as game reviewers, but as people. But I'm sorry to break it to you. At the end of the day, and it's hard to accept, you don't know them. You don't know how it impacts them. You don't know who they're connected with behind the scenes. You don't know what bridge they're trying not to burn. I've talked to a couple of actual game developers about this issue, about corruption essentially, and here's what they told me. They told me that money doesn't flow directly to outlets or reviewers, at least not to their knowledge. If that got uncovered, it would be a giant scandal and a disaster. That's not how it's done. It's all done through access. You shit on my game? No problem, bro. By the way, those plane tickets that we were gonna give you and fly your whole team out to our massive preview event where we're gonna show you never seen before exclusive gameplay that you could report on and, you know, give you some stickers and backpacks with the game's logo on it. Those tickets, they got lost somehow. I'm not kidding. Sounds funny, but this is how it happens. This is corruption and the Gestapo has arrived. Joke. It's happening on a massive scale and no one's batting an eye because you don't want to bite the hand that feeds you. In the words of Hector Salamanca, 50,000
and the goal
is yours. Another argument of the people who defend it is, it's like that across all industry, man. Tech reviewers, film reviewers, whatever reviewers, and also it's been going on for forever. So? If a pedophile says, yo,
I've been a pedo for 20 years, man.
No one caught me yet. Ben should snip his dick. Just cause something wrong has been going on for forever doesn't mean it's okay. Now, I don't want to only complain, I want to talk about solutions. We talked about this a lot yesterday in the Discord. I have thought of several. None of them are great. Let me just give you a rundown. I understand that on the consumer side, you guys want to have reviews out on release date. I get it. You want to know whether to buy the game or not. Here's what I suggest. If you are provided a review copy and early access, your entire video has to say in the corner, in big enough to be visible and clear to everybody, that it's sponsored for transparency's sake. Just saying it in the beginning of your video isn't enough because a lot of people skip ahead in videos to see the actual critique. Now, that is not a good solution because nobody's willing to do that. Kinda fucks up your credibility to mark your entire review as sponsored, doesn't it? So it should. Another solution would be that game companies have to give review copies to anyone who asks and they're not allowed to revoke it for any reason. Obviously, a certain threshold of followers or audience size has to be passed first. They can decide on that. But once you've reached that threshold, if you ask for it, you have to be given the copy. This solution is completely utopian and unrealistic as well. You would have to mandate companies to be legally required to give out their games for free. I don't even know how and if that would work, but I don't think it's possible. The only sensible and fair thing in my eyes is that nobody gets early review copies anymore. Spend your own money. Buy the game on release just like all the other people that you're reviewing the game for. And disconnect yourself from the people in whose interest it is that you give their games a good review, or that your review is just out on release date, period. Be a goddamn professional. But who am I kidding? Nothing will change. I am but a fart in the wind here. None of what I've suggested will happen. After all, this video is attacking a lot of people's livelihood, and I'm really looking forward to all the justifications people are gonna give me. I would never lie to my audience. I've given bad reviews before. This guy isn't even a monk. Here's the only realistic thing I can expect. Be aware. That's all. From now on, when you watch a review and they got an early copy, just be aware that these people are relying on the good graces of the very people who make the product they're supposed to objectively review for you. to provide them with these copies. It's a question of transparency and integrity, and it's wrong on principle. The effects are bad, but they ultimately don't even matter. Deontologische Pflichtethik à la Immanuel Kant. Last but not least, I would really appreciate if you could send this video to Jim Sterling and Young, and who else is there? Jason Schreier and all the people who pride themselves on, calling out BS and, being the good guys. Excited to hear what they have to say. Rantoni out. One more thing. I'm recording this a couple of days after the rest of the video, and I've been thinking about this more and more. And now I'm thinking the implications of this are pretty big. Like, running this channel over the past couple of years has given me a lot of incredible possibilities, and I've gotten to know developers of games that I've reviewed. I've never reviewed a game of a developer that I've known after I've gotten to know him, but now I'm thinking, now I do know developers that are working on games that I know. Is it okay to review it? What are the implications of this whole thing? How deep does it run? Is that already not acceptable? I do believe 100% that if you're given the game for free by the company or by people who work on the game, that's not okay. But is being friends with developers who make a game that you're reviewing already too far? I don't know. But my gut's telling me yes, it's not alright. What do you guys think? If you consider reviewers part of the industry, it's awesome to get to know some of the people behind the scenes, That's what everyone kind of wants. Yo, meeting Todd Howard and all that. I don't know if that's okay. Maybe I'm just overthinking it and I'm taking it way too far. It's okay to be friends with them, but doesn't it? I don't know. Like, the rest of the video, I'm pretty sure of myself. But this part here in the end, I'm... Maybe if I'm friends with developers, I should tell them I don't want to know what games they're working on. Because you're not going to shit on a game of a friend either, are you? I don't know. You guys tell me. Bye.